dropped!
Yay, but not really. This episode is actually good.
It was.
And I mean good. Alright, so this is Future Card Buddyfight, episode 15. She holding up 6 for some reason. Review. Yeah, it's like, this episode, this is the kind of stuff that we should have been seeing about 10 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Like, to all those people who keep thinking that this show's been great up to this point, it's like, you don't know dick. This is the kind of stuff that we should have been seeing after Ruga got introduced.
Yep. Good character moments, interactions, people calling Gao out on his stupidness.
Yeah, even the show acknowledges that Gao's a terrible person now.
I think it also acknowledged that Drum doesn't do anything.
Not allowed to have fun.
Well, we'll get into that.
So we'll start with the episode proper.
Yep, starts off with the president having a tantrum because he lost to that Slifer Slacker.
Yeah, that Slifer Slacker kicked his ass. So he's all mad and butthurt, and his assistant says, "Man, you should have probably just get him a fight." And he's like, "Hmm?"
And then he's like, "Who's that guy again?"
Who? Oh yeah, that guy.
Didn't we kidnap him? And why aren't the police involved already? It's been days.
And not only is Genma disappeared, but so is Doai.
This is like an Amber Alert, man.
Yeah, they are kids, after all. I think they should be somewhat concerned. Even though they don't look like kids at all.
No, they look like they're 20s, but still, they're kids. They're in high school.
They're in junior high, aren't they?
Yeah, they're in junior high, so they're like 13.
They're like, 14 or something. Maybe 15 at the oldest.
Yeah, no, people would be looking for them.
But yeah, it leads many people to think that President, I know his name's Cheetah, I just don't care still, President,
yeah,
has his split personality or something. Because he has like different like faces that vastly differ depending on how he's acting.
And even the vice president agrees with us when she says, "What a weirdo."
What a weirdo. It's just so. Anyway, long story short, he's bitching about that.
Knocking over his books.
Yeah.
Just throwing his little bitch.
Meanwhile, yeah, you gotta get going. Meanwhile, in the underground, Doai and Gemma are talking about everything that's happened up to this point.
Yep.
And how, well, President stole deck, locked them down there. So Doai proceeds to try to punch open the walls
and
with his bare feet.
And he succeeds slightly by cracking it.
Genma
succeeded.
He tried earlier and punched holes. That's why he looks over and he shows where he was doing it.
Oh yeah.
That's another thing I like to mention too. Doai, despite his face not looking like it, has Tetsu's like eyes and features, scowl. Yeah. And Genma has Tetsu's English voice actor. So the two of them are half a Tetsu.
They need to do the fusion dance.
Just a little bit of fun tidbits for you.
And they'll have the power of Star Wolf and be able to punch through.
Yeah, so long story short, Genma says, "Don't waste your time. You're not going to get anywhere like that."
I'm just glad to see that they actually have running water, so that's how they're surviving. Still don't know if they have food.
Oh yeah. They should still be like starving. It's been days, but at least they have water.
Yeah.
I mean, water running from the side of either artificial or not artificial hole in the ground, so it's probably not healthy water.
But water. It's like, yeah, these poor guys.
Yeah, these guys are going to be so pissed when they get out. Anyway, continuing, Noboru's at his locker, looking at his phone, getting ready to delete a bunch of names. If you can't tell what the kanji says, it's a bunch of names.
Yep. And
then he's confronted by Gao's sister, who tries to freaking narc on him.
Yeah, she's like, "Let me see your phone. I'm gonna steal it."
No, first she's like, "No, you can't. No, you can't have your phone out in school. That's against the rules." And Noboru was like, "Actually, because we're in the tournament, phase, all rules don't apply. We're not in school at the moment.
Yeah.
And then she gets all interested in his phone because I guess it has tiger stripes. I'm not even sure.
Just wants his phone.
Like really bad.
Starts humping him for it.
Continue.
So then he's like, "What's wrong with you?" And she's like, "Well, I think you're cool. My brother's always talking about you all the time." He's like, "Then why do you call me kitten shirt and narc on me all the time?" And she's like, "Because you're mean to him." And it's like, she has a point, but she's still an annoying little shit.
Why is she here?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is like, why is she here?
Like, that's the thing I just can't understand. Even if I understand they're in the same school, what have you, but why is she there? Shouldn't she be, anywhere else?
Yeah, maybe with her brother, since she totally wants his D.
Or how about just there because it's probably where she want to be, since he's going to be in the next match.
Yeah, not to mention, Gao should probably be looking after his little sister.
Who freaking knows? Yeah. Anyway, as Noboru leaves, and as Gao's sister asks what's his deal, and that's when two people come up. Spoilers, except for probably not really. They're obviously Noboru's parents.
Yep. They look nothing like him.
Nothing at all like him, but that's a different story.
Especially his dad.
His dad doesn't even look like he's from the show.
Yeah. So then, El Quixote
comes out and asks him if he's sure about doing this.
And he's like, "Yeah, we've been planning this for a year."
We've been planning this for a year now. We gotta do it. He said something about being decisive, so I gotta be decisive about this.
Yeah, and Al's like, "But you've done so much stuff here."
It's like, I made my decision. Anyway, next thing we cut to is Noboru's friends, I guess, trying to work on his deck.
Yeah. They want to be helpful.
Yeah, they want to be helpful, even though he's not asking for their help. When they're doing that, they get startled when Gao and everyone comes in, and Gao and everyone is like, "Oh, it's cool that you're working on this stuff.
Yep.
Good to see your team spirit and all that stuff." Then Drum comes in and picks up a card, and one of the guys yoinks it out of his hand.
Literally. Yoink.
And
then,
well, let me just say this before we continue. Here's your precious Drum, lobotomized as everyone's talking.
He just stands there staring into
the whole
distance.
scene. For the whole scene, he just stares into the distance. Like, he's looking in their direction, but not at them at all. He has nothing to add to this conversation ever. And no, it can't even be because all these people knew each other, because Kiri's new to this school. He doesn't know any of them either. In fact, he probably knows them less than Drum, because he came after that. So no, he's just looking somewhere because he wasn't given direction or something. Yeah, long story short, people, please. Even Bushiro doesn't know what to do with Drum.
Then, like, everyone else has at least little subtle animations that they're moving or breathing. But Drum, no, he's just...
No, he only has one job, to look cute when he's in his buddy form. But anyway, so Gao's sister comes in with the parents and tells them that they have something to say. And then that's when they find out what Noboru's deal is recently. He's moving that day, or the next day. He's moving soon.
Yeah.
I think they said something about 6 p.m. tonight or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the same day.
Yeah, and he's leaving the country.
Yeah, he's moving out of the country.
He's gone.
He's Kote levels on the bus.
Yeah.
From Vanguard,
We are not seeing him.
Nope. And Gao's mad because, his friend's leaving, and, that's fair enough.
But the way he
says it in such a way like he killed somebody and was about to leave the country or something.
The way he says it is like, no, I demand he cannot leave because I don't want him to.
Yeah, and it's like, well, I understand those feelings. It's like, at the same time,
They could have worded it.
He should be more upset.
Yeah.
I mean, at least he's showing a more proper emotion than what he did with the move thing in episode 9. But it's like, seriously, the whole time he's just straight up angry at him. I mean...
They even say he has his rage face on.
Yeah, you know that he's just straight up mad. And I'm like, you should be more upset that he's going at all.
Yeah. Rather
than just straight up mad. Like, it's called having mixed emotions.
Yeah.
If he were being angry and sad, then you would have something. But if he's just straight up angry, it's like, how dare you have your own life?
How dare you have to move because your parents are moving?
I don't even know why they're moving. It's like, it makes him sound like he had some say in this.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, whatever, yeah, it's not your decision. He has his own things, he has his own reasons, and he's been planning this for a while. It's like, this was going to happen.
And then,
he just didn't feel, and then just feel a need to, tell him. Deal with it. So their match gets underway soon, and he's like angry the whole time. Noboru mentions his rage face.
And then they have these pre-fight videos where Gao's like, "Hi, I'm here from team whatever their team name is. I never remember.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Circus Olay. I don't know.
Circus Olay." And he's like, "I'm just giving a shout out to all my friends." And then Noboru's thing is just, "I chose Dragonite."
I chose Knight because Dragonites are cool and Armor Dragons are stupid.
No word from Drum because he's lobotomized.
Yeah, I mean, you remember the last time someone even mentioned Dragonite, how mad he got. What does he have to say when when he comes out again and straight up says once again
that they suck?
That the Armor Dragons suck?
No.
Not a word. Doesn't even have anything to say. It's like he's lobotomized or something.
Yeah, so Gao...
Gao's still mad, saying, "Wait, well, can't believe you did this without telling me." And Noboru's like, "Well, I guess it's best if he's mad at me. That will make leaving easier."
Yeah.
Because, he wants to cut his ties.
Yep.
I guess to start anew, but, hopefully we'll get a chance to see Noboru again and see what is actually up.
Yeah.
So they do their fight thing, or they set up anyway. I'm not all that interested, because I had to explain to this one idiot the other day, it was just a while ago, just because freaking Gao wins doesn't mean he's getting character development.
Yeah.
I don't know how people think this, but no, winning all the time does not make good character development, because you know what's going to happen every time with him.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he can't lose. It's like when you watch Goku, you know Goku's overpowered and he's gonna win. But
doesn't always win.
He loses.
Doesn't always win. He died like 4 times.
Yeah, 4 times. It's like Goku, one of the most powerful people in the world. There's a good chance he's gonna lose.
How about instead of using a character who's nothing like these guys,
okay,
you use Aichi, who is also in a card game show, and despite winning his first fight, lost the next 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Him.
I'm sorry. It's just whenever I think overpowered, I think Goku.
Well, we are not wanting to compare overpowered with overpowered.
Yeah.
We're wanting to compare 2 card game main characters and say why one works better than the other.
Yeah.
You ruined it. We're gonna move on.
Okay, sorry.
So anyway, flashback. Gao just hanging out in the classroom by himself.
Yeah, they explain that he transferred and he has no friends.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. In fact, Noboru explains why he has no friends for the longest time too in the episode. But so Noboru goes up and asks him if he wants to play some dodgeball or something.
Yeah. Noboru's actually a pretty cool guy.
Yep, he's like the first person to actually come and ask him to do things when he had no friends. And it makes him have this really stupid looking face.
They hold that shot.
They hold that shot for like 10 seconds and zoom in on it. I'm like, okay,
slowly.
I get it. He's happy. What the heck are you trying to do here? It's just creepy.
Such a stupid face.
So we cut back to the fight. Drum actually got to get a hit in.
Yeah, he actually did something.
Well, one thing, and I stress one thing. When Noboru's turn comes, he gets out El Quijote to the side and equips himself with his swords. and Red Baron out on the field too, so he can wreck his butt.
Yep.
And which I mean, kill him once, Soul Guard. Oh, but wait, another attack. But I wanted to fight, is what he says when he blows up. It's almost like he sucks or something. And even Zebek doesn't want him to do things because there's nothing to do with him.
Yeah. And then also there's some pretty funny dialogue that comes up around this point between Jin and Gao's sister. They just start talking, and at one point, like, he's like, "Do you have a mute button?" And then she's like, "Do you have a fast forward button?" And then the hair face woman says, "Guys, you're harshing my mellow. What year is it?"
Yeah, so stuff starts deteriorating from there between Gao and Noboru. They keep on talking about things that happened in the past, and Noboru trying to keep pushing him away, which starts smack talking happening, which includes mentioning about how once again Gao's a dick.
Yeah, because it turns out that in judo class he
wiped the floor with Noboru
and showboated.
And obviously that's kind of a dick thing to do. And Gao's all like, "Well, what are you wanting me to let you win or something?" Which I am like, do you not remember the character development you supposedly got in episode 6, telling you not to do that?
Yeah, the entire episode devoted to it.
It's like, this is what I mean by Gao doesn't have a character. He goes back on any kind of development he gets. It's like, you'd think even whether he's angry or not, he would acknowledge that he did something bad back then in the past and apologize for doing it, even if it was in the past. But no, he's just going on like he didn't do anything wrong. And I'm like, you just had character development like not 8 episodes ago telling you the opposite of that. And don't say, well, it was 8 episodes ago, because I think the freaking show should have some consistency. Because it's only 15 episodes in.
It's like if Aichi suddenly became season 1 Aichi.
You mean like it did in season 2?
Yeah.
That's why we don't like season 2.
Yeah, exactly. Stop having this problem.
It's like, yeah, going back on your character development is not good. In fact, it's the worst thing you can do.
Imagine if he started acting like that in the final fight with Kai.
Well, anyway, back onto the story here. After he did that and showboated, apparently no one wanted to be near Gao again because he's a prick. He's a prick, yeah. So yeah, even everyone else in the school didn't like him because he was being a dick about it. So yeah, he can't even say otherwise. Even the So thinks he was stupid. But Noboru, because apparently he is a jerk with a heart of gold, taught him how to play Buddyfight, which got people, you know, to be friendly again towards him.
Also, Noboru also points out that Gao never loses.
Yeah, also it's true. Yeah, even he points out the fact that, imagine how he must feel, spending all this time playing this game, learning how to get better at it, etc., so he can be the best player, so he can beat the best player in the world, etc., only to have Gao waltz in, just started playing, not only pick up the game, get a buddy monster,
yeah,
but also beat the best player in the world. All in one day.
Yeah. And he never loses any of his fights.
It's like, yeah, even Noboru is kind of pissed off about the fact that he never loses, and he's just waving for everyone and basically taking away any chance that he has of anyone even noticing about, acknowledging him. It's almost like Gao's bad for this series or something. Like, it's awful really when you think about it, and all this anger that Noboru has with Gao about it all. It's like, and I could easily understand why he feels this way.
I honestly think that Noboru should have been the main character of the series.
He should have.
He acts like it. He has the most development, and he points out these things. He grows as a person.
Yeah, like he would not have been anything like this if we looked at him like 10 episodes ago. He would not have the balls to even bring all this stuff up. He probably would have made sure that not to keep his distance away from all of them. But now they actually all care about him. He cares about them. He even acknowledges at one point that at least he made one friend that he really wanted to hold on to.
If you showed someone who had never heard of Buddyfight before, never seen it, and took out the opening and just showed them this episode, who do you think they would think the main character was? And who do you think they would think the rival was?
Well, since we know he's moving, we know which one it is.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know what you're trying to say. Yeah, his development in this episode is just amazing, and this fight is the best example. Of the two, who's actually getting development? Who's actually growing? Noboru.
The definition of a secondary character is a character who doesn't go through character development and is just there to support the main character's character development.
Gao is acting as the secondary character because he doesn't grow, he barely does anything of actual significance, and all these people only want to fight him because he said he wanted to fight them, I guess. Like, he never did anything endearing to Jin that actually make him want to fight him.
Jin just kinda is high.
Yeah, and I freaking don't even know if Zanya cares or not either.
Yeah, I don't think Lasagna cares.
And then you get freaking Noboru, but the only reason Noboru does is because he's been waiting for this opportunity since, like, the beginning of the show. Like, seriously, Gao has almost nothing to do with any of these people except for Noboru.
Yeah.
Which is also probably why this episode is so good. But anyway, after getting to a boiling point, and basically just in front of everyone explaining how alone he feels because of how isolated he feels, because Gao's a dick.
His friends are like, whoa, you're not alone.
His friends say, you're not alone, we're here to support you, and just think of us as your knights in training, i.e. squires. So they just get into the cheater booth and start helping. Well, it's still what it is. I don't care.
I know.
He's still a cheater booth, and help him determine what his next plan of attack should be. Because even though this game is super simple, apparently it's not super simple enough to do without other people helping you.
I also wrote this down, but I forgot to bring it up. Noboru's doing Kai's arc a lot better than Kai did.
You mean in Season 3 Kai,
Yeah, Season 3 Kai.
Yeah, it's true, I guess. I mean, he feels like he's being left behind, feels like he needs to get stronger, but he doesn't
sell his soul to the devil.
To effectively the devil to do it.
The space devil.
Yeah, he just gets stronger. He just works at it harder, even if he has to work at it harder than anyone else.
Yeah, and his actual feelings are justified.
Yeah, extremely justified. It's like, imagine being like really good at the game at the place you're at or whatever, and then all of a sudden some guy just waltzes in out of nowhere and just starts beating the pants off of everybody, including yourself, and everyone just starts like him and talking with him, and then doesn't give a crap what you have to say for no reason.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, and that's actually another thing right there that makes Noboru so good. I like how he's relatable.
Mm-hmm.
He's a average guy who had a name for himself until some asshole comes in and just takes it away from him.
I think we can all relate to that.
Gao is just some asshole.
Yeah.
He's the one who basically has everything handed to him.
He's the Gary Oak.
Yeah, he's Gary Oak, Gary Sue, whatever you want to say. It's long story short, it's like he lives in a pretty decent house that's also a dojo in Japan, which if you don't know, that's extremely expensive in Japan. Probably expensive here too, but especially in Japan. He has apparently enough money to go to a super, special, awesome school, which I guess is what IO Academy is supposed to be.
Along with his sister.
Along with his sister, yes. Freaking champion at martial arts, not just in his grade, but even in the adult circuit, even though he's freaking 10 or 12, and therefore shouldn't be able to even hold a candle to an adult.
Or flip them.
Or flip them clear over their head with one hand. Oh my goodness. Try going to a gorilla, grabbing it by its arm, and flipping it over your head if you really think that's possible.
Also, not to mention, he is the instructor at their school. He is the judo instructor.
Yeah, he's also the instructor at the school.
So he has a teaching job.
And his teaching job, and he has a buddy. So anyway, all that stuff goes down. He sets up a counterattack because Halberd's on the field, including Dracula. He uses his Drago Slasher to cut down Halberd. Parko learns how to ham up saying "say what."
Yeah, she finally says it correctly.
Well, in a different way, but a way that's funny.
Yeah.
Even though there may not be the time for it. And he gets to Gao down to 1 life, but unfortunately that's not enough, because now Gao can Gargantua Punisher him, because what else is he really going to do? Without that card, he'd probably be losing a lot more.
Yep.
And, we can't have him, not use Gargantua Punisher, because then that would make him have to have a different battle strategy. Yep. Other than Gargantua Punisher. So Gao wins, Noboru loses. He's like, well, I guess that's that. Good games all around, they all say.
And he actually finally justifies his little bitch fit earlier, saying he was mad that Noboru never told him he was leaving. He was just going to leave without even saying anything.
Yeah. That's the only thing that saves Gao at all
in this episode.
I mean, a lot of the other parts definitely kill him bad, but at least that much.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're all getting ready to go. Noboru gets a text from Gao saying he probably deleted everyone's phone numbers and names, but be sure to keep in mind that all the freaking text speak in the world, and it's TYL. I know that. And then other people start giving him their their phone numbers, and then when he's getting ready to go, he looks to the side, and there's all there, just waving him a goodbye. Even the teacher, like. Apparently Noboru had a bigger impact on this school than Gao has ever.
Yeah, because they did mention that he was the second best player, and I think that at least gave him some clout.
It's like, yeah, he clearly should have been the main character, and then he tears up because everyone came to see him off.
And even El Quijote mentions it.
And, it's a very, actually legitimate moment, so he gives them the peace sign, and tells them how they're all the best friends he's ever had.
And how we can't wait to see them again someday.
And then he leaves.
On an Airbus.
Yep, on the Airbus. I.e., he will probably not come back for another... If we're lucky, we'll see him 20, 30 episodes down the line. If it's anything like Kote. Anyway.
Dropped. But not really.
Yeah, not really dropped, because this is by far the best episode in this series.
Yeah.
Like, bar none. Like, you can say what you want about episodes 4 and 5 and 10 and whatever, but this one had basically everything. It had its funny moments, it had its premonitions about things to come, it had its darker points, it had its blow-ups, it had its drama, it had everything. It even made Gao look somewhat like a human, even though he's a dick still.
Even though he's obviously an alien being covered in children's skin.
Yeah. The only thing that was missing was Drome actually doing something important. Or at the very least, talking, other than saying, but I didn't get to fight. Like, he had nothing to add onto this. He had no last minute gripes about Dragon Knights.
To Noboru either.
I mean, considering he's the only Dragon Knight player in the show at the moment, I think that, having at least a little bit of banter before he left would have been good. Since that was the whole reason he even came out to the human world in the first place.
Yeah.
Was because Noboru was talking smack about armor dragons, and he wanted to go out in person and tell Gao to tell him off.
Yeah, Gao literally wouldn't have a buddy if it wasn't for Noboru.
Yeah, that's a thinker, isn't it?
Noboru was that important to this.
Yeah, it's like he was considering Gao, but it was Noboru talking smack about the armor dragon, and Gao not saying anything that made him decide, that's it, I'm going out there. He probably would have just lost interest.
Yeah.
If it weren't for that.
This kid's too perfect. I'm moving on.
So, yeah, I think easily say best episode of Buddyfight. Its only real flaw is that there's no way any other episodes from here on out are going to be nearly as good, because all the good episodes from this show have been ones that were centered around Noboru or Tasku. And even that is only half and half.
Yeah, like... any episode surrounding Noboru was almost guaranteed to be good.
Yep, and ones that focused around Tasku were at least watchable.
Yeah.
They were at least fun to watch because of all the fighting. But character development so much. Yeah, it's... I can only assume it's not going to be all that great from here, unless the plot stays this time. So, lastly, minute thoughts.
Ah, man. I'm gonna miss Noboru. He really was the main character of this show. Honestly, it feels like this should be the final episode of the series, because we just lost the main character.
Or at least the season. I agree on pretty much all those aspects. And I feel that people gotta understand that losing a fight doesn't make you a worse person. It doesn't keep you from getting growth. I mean, it didn't stop the plot from happening in season 3 when Aichi and group and company lost at the high school tournament. They lost before they could even get to the national one.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I was that even the
they
or was
lost
it the regional?
In the regional.
Was it the actual regional or was it the qualifier? I forget. Whatever it is, point is they didn't actually get anywhere because it doesn't matter. Tournament is just a tournament. It's not the actual plot at hand, because the only reason the tournament arc should be used for character development is if the character is actually going to grow. Gao's not going to grow from this. He's learned nothing.
He hasn't grown at all.
He hasn't learned anything from any of these fights so far. All he's done is made people want to play him because he has Gargantua Punisher.
I think it's that they want to play him so that they can have the bragging rights of beating a Gary Stu.
I mean, that is a good thing to claim. It's like, no, you shouldn't have to wait until a big bad comes up to decide to have him lose, because then that means he'll only lose to people who are major threats, and even then he'll have to beat them eventually. And it also means that there's no tension in the fights that aren't world importance.
Yeah.
And will therefore cause you not to care. Which is what a lot of people are starting to do about Gao. They don't care about Gao anymore because he only wins. He doesn't do anything else.
Usually when we go to the YouTube comments on these episodes, it's like, oh, this episode was great, oh, this episode was great. People are finally being logical.
Oh yeah. People this time on the episode are just straight up mad that Noboru, or sad, or both, that Noboru is gone.
And I think it's because they finally wised up and went, you know, Noboru has a point. He is kind of a dick who never loses.
Yep, so that's how that is. Well, I guess that's it for 15 of Buddyfight. I guess 169 of Vanguard is next. Legion Mate 6.
Preview for next episode. We're gonna have a gin and lasagna meal.
Ha! Gin and lasagna. Oh, yes. No, I don't.